go. Wake up, everybody. In real time, it's 7:54 a.m. This is Bill Bostic with the Gazette Morning Update for Tuesday, March 6, 2018. Welcome aboard this rocket ship to nowhere. Yes, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Gazette Morning Update. This fine internet newscast is brought to you by the Consolidated Insurance Services, the folks over there. Headed up by the one and only David Jones. They have home, auto, business, and life. They're located in Paxtonia. They're waiting to help you out. That's Consolidated Insurance Services in Paxtonia. Have a big show lined up for you today. Lots of stuff to jam in here. And yesterday we talked about a format change. I got some feedback. From a very important person. And considered everything. And we're pretty much reverting back to the old thing where we'll try and pack everything in the front end as far as updates and news you can use, that kind of thing. And on the back end, we're going to delve into a topic. And you can either, consume this live, or you can watch it in bits and pieces throughout the day, however you want to do it. But this is your one and only place you can get local news, hyper-local news in Lower Paxton Township, the Linglestown area, and Central Dauphin School District. There just is nothing else out there, so this is the place to be. And as always, we sort of have a format here of sorts. And we'll follow it along so you aren't upset about that. I'll have to get... Hey, I fed you this morning. Please be quiet. Get out of here. It's the Watchdog segment, of course. The Watchdog segment, and then we'll do the weather after that. I forgot that. I don't have things organized as well as I normally do. But there's big Watchdog news out there today. First of all, top of the list is Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors holding their first business meeting of March. The Lower Paxton Township Supervisors holding their first business meeting of March. The big item on the agenda is they will be appointing an interim public safety director. Our prior director for the last 2 years or so, David Spots, resigned. And now they're prepared to bring in an interim. And this is a big position. I mean, they oversee all the first responder type services, fire, police department for one, for sure, and then fire companies, ambulance services, and the like. This is your top administrator for those kinds of services locally in Lower Paxton Township. And there will be an appointment tonight. I'll be at the meeting reporting for penlive.com, and then secondly, things will show up on Linglestown Gazette. Yesterday I mentioned that WHP 580 AM was hosting the Republican gubernatorial, people running for governor on the Republican side, and that debate did take place, or that forum did take place yesterday on the radio, and I'll link up for you the podcast. Ken Matthews is their afternoon guy. And I'll link up for you on the show notes that podcast if you want to consume that particular forum. And then the Republican governor candidates are once again going to be at it today in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Convention Center. No, that's not right. The Philadelphia Constitution Center. Near the Liberty Bell is where that's located. They'll be meeting this morning in a forum, and that will be replayed on Pennsylvania Cable Network at 6 o'clock tonight. So I'll remind you about that in the show notes as well. And for those of you who are following along, we have a major political race here in our backyard. It's the 105th, that's a key number, 105, the 105th Legislative District. Now, what does that mean? This is the person that represents you and me in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. And that's at the state capitol in downtown Harrisburg, that beautiful building. If you haven't been to that building, take a tour. Maybe I'll sponsor a tour. We'll go down and take a look at it. It is wonderful architecture in there, one of the best in the country. And that particular seat has been held forever and a day by Ron Marsico. He is retiring, and now that seat is wide open. And I know of 3 candidates that are running. It would be Adam Klein, Andrew Lewis, although I haven't really confirmed that. I'm told he's running. And then, of course, Eric Epstein. And I've been talking with one of the campaigns, and I want to let everyone know how this is going to work. The Linglestown Gazette will be taking sponsorships from candidates in the 105th Legislative District. And I guess we would take sponsorships from the people running for governor as well if they want to go this route. I doubt that they would. But here is how it's going to work. I cannot delve into the issues and make all kinds of editorial comments about this particular race for Ron Marsico's seat. Who's going to succeed Ron? But what I can do is be a conduit for people to find out about these candidates. When you walk in the election booth in May 15th, my job as a journalist is to make sure you have all the information possible on these candidates. You're going to have potentially 3 candidates. If you're a Democrat, I think you're going to have 1, I think. We'll see. The petitions were due today. Today is when petitions are due. So maybe by this evening we'll have some idea who's running. But as far as I know, 1 Democrat running for Mr. Marsico's seat, 2 Republicans. And when you walk in, be you a Democrat or a Republican, I want you to know exactly who you're voting for. That's my job. So these political ads, these sponsorships, would merely be like banner ads and would be a conduit to their website. I can't get into the races myself because I might put nonprofit status in jeopardy. And I could get my butt kicked out of my current job. Linglestown Gazette does not pay me money. Okay, this is a public service, and I'm trying to start a nonprofit. Right? I'm not being paid to do this. I'm not fully meeting expenses. Right? This is a public service, and that's why you need to become a patron. Throw a few bucks into the kitty every month to help offset these costs. But nevertheless, that's not what this is about. I'm explaining how we're going to take political ads. It's going to be just links to websites where you can learn about these candidates. Now, moving on to some stuff that's fun. I have a couple of things to mention to you on the lifestyle area. In lifestyle news, my word has it that on March 23rd, that's a Friday, and 24th, there will be murders taking place in Linglestown. Believe it or not, it's already scheduled. And there's a video out there floating around. I'm going to link it up in the show notes. You can find out more about this upcoming murders. Again, this is lifestyle, folks. This is not news. This is lifestyle. When I say murder, I'm not trying to incite any kind of danger. This is fun. So you'll learn about that. Now, I will tell you, I think you might have 2 minutes of entertainment with this video I'm going to show you. But the seats are all sold for the event that it's talking about. Just understand that. So that's this. But I want you to see this because murders will be taking place in Linglestown, in downtown Linglestown, March 23rd and 24th. And I've also, unrelated to Linglestown Gazette, I've found a show on YouTube that I want you to check out because I think it's funny. It's called Pittsburgh Dad. Pittsburgh Dad. Just check it out. Go to YouTube, put in the search box, Pittsburgh Dad, check it out, and tell me what you think about it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick look at the weather, would you? Would you already? It's 27 degrees at Linglestown Gazette's newsroom. 27 degrees, fair outside. Temperature's about the same as yesterday, according to weatherunderground.com. And today we're looking at a high of 45 degrees, an 80% chance of precipitation, about a half an inch possible afternoon showers. Tonight is when the fun potentially begins. There is a nor'easter, and this is your warning. Go get your bread and milk, folks. We could have some snow tonight. Now, I took a look at various sources of information about weather. It sounds like as always, the exact track of the storm is unknown. It'll be better. They'll have a better idea this afternoon. But still, get your bread and milk, please. Get there early before they run out. So that's your quick look at the weather, brought to you by the one and only, and I mean one and only, Anthony Cristillo and his infamous company called The Fat Man Clothing Company. The Fat Man Clothing Company. Put it in your search engine on Facebook and see what pops up. All right, let's dial up some bumper music here. Let's move into the next big area of our show. If I can find the bumper music. There we go. Let's see. Woo! Here we go, buddy. It's sports. Sports. Let's get into it a little bit here. All right, shut up. Thank you. Couple things to note on the sports. Really just one thing to note on the sports that I have down listed here. Central Dauphin Lady Rams news. The basketball team steamrolling into the state championship this week. And our crack sports director, Joe Gilloway of Colonial Park, he is the area's #1 source of information about scholastic sports with a specialty in football and a super high specialty in scholastic basketball. He talks about people like he knows them, and I never even heard of them. You know, it's like, wow, who are you talking about? But Joe knows them all. He is the authority, and he came in last night with some great news. The Lady Rams, well, there's good news and bad news. The Lady Rams are going to be in action on the hardwood against Central Bucks East High School Lady Patriots. You know, I have to tell you, I like Patriots. I love people who like our country, who love our country. I will not be liking the Patriots on Friday evening, but Central Bucks East High School Lady Patriots are from Eastern PA, just north of Philly. I'm told by Joe that this is an excellent league. They're the number 11 seed, I believe he told me, and are not expected to be a pushover for the Lady Rams. Now, here's the bad news. The bad news is, I believe the tip-off is 8 o'clock on Friday, but it's on the West Shore. If you're going to go to the game, you need to cross over the river, over to the West Shore. It's at East Pennsboro High School. That's in Enola. East Pennsboro High School, 8 p.m. Friday. You know, I know people who don't cross over the river. I know people who hate the West Shore. They like the simplicity, the open spaces, the friendliness of the East Shore. Now, so I'm not going to get into the shore battle, but I'm just giving you a warning. You have a number of days now to figure out how you're going to mentally approach this. You need to go watch the Lady Rams. How am I going to actually cross over that Wade Bridge to the West Shore? So get yourself prepared. Now, I mentioned in the opening that this show is entitled something like Tiny is Big. Tiny is Big. And I just want to revert back to something that's happening later this week for the close out this show. And that's on Thursday evening, folks. Thursday evening at the Township Municipal Building on Prince Street. There'll be a public hearing sponsored by the Planning Commission. And they're going to be unveiling for the first time publicly in an open session that's designed for the public. You know, that's not just a work session, but it's actually meant for us, we, the people. On Thursday at 7 o'clock, they'll be unveiling a rewrite or a proposed revision to our comprehensive plan. It's our township's game plan moving forward when it comes to development, transportation, recreation, economic development, all these kinds of things. It's a very, very important document because once it's adopted, then our elected officials, the township supervisors, are charged with implementing all that stuff, changing the zoning and doing various things, funding various projects. And I'm asking you to come and support me. I will be speaking. I'll get fair warning. I'll be getting up and speaking about the big picture is for our community moving forward to be viable, we need to provide welcome mats for millennials, or just call them young adults. And whether you like it or not, millennials are, as a group now, maybe not individually, case by case, but as a group are a little bit different, and especially when it comes to the area of housing and where they live. And without digging deep into the details, as I'm running out of time here in this 15-minute show, maybe 16 or 17 minutes, I mean, that kind of thing. I'm back to that, Anthony. I've abandoned the 8-minute show thing. Sorry, buddy. They like to live the probably the best place in the township where you can provide an enclave for young people would be Linglestown, because it's really that's the one area is like a little community. And one of the things that may help out, and it's sort of my big topic, is tiny homes. And because of the timing here, I'm going to move this to tomorrow. We're going to talk about tiny homes. Tiny is big. And I have an article here that sort of outlines what's happening locally. I mean, the tiny home movement is invading our area, it's in nearby Lancaster County. So that'll be tomorrow's topic. I'm giving you because I've run out of time. I mean, you guys have something to do. I have something to do. We got to move on. I'd like to thank David Jones. That's who I'm trying to say. David Jones with Consolidated Insurance Services. Where's my bumper music? Here it is. I'd like to thank David Jones, Consolidated Insurance Services, for helping to bring this show to you today. Have a great Tuesday out and about here in Linglestown, Lower Paxton Township, and Central Dauphin School District. This is your host, Bill Bostic, signing off for now. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Tiny is big.